Okay, so today's pepper review is going to be on the Scotch Bonnet Haiti's Red. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the plant of the Scotch Bonnet Haiti's Red. Now, I don't know that much about the plant itself. I'll leave the information in the description. You'll be able to read about it from there. Offhand, I don't know the information. This video is mainly just to cover what the plant profile is and the details on the plant and what it tastes like. So all the specifics will be in the description. Now, as you can see, this plant does make a broadleaf. This is a 2-year-old plant. It's been around for quite a while. Actually, there's 2 plants in here. 2 or 3. There's 4 plants in that little pot. And this whole pot is about 4 years old. It's been growing pretty good for quite a while. This year was not a pepper year. The plants pretty much lost their leaves very early in the season. All my pepper plants are starting to do that, except for just a small handful of them. But most of them have been dropping leaves like crazy, so I can't really show you too much of the leaf, but you'll see, like here, there's a small one here. That's kind of a broad leaf, has that puffiness to the leaf. As far as the stem on the plant, the stems are green. There's no purpling in the stem, just a tiny bit of purpling at the nodes, and the stems is very slightly raspy, but it's generally a smooth stem plant. Here's another one back here, and I think we got a flower we can show you. They hang down, so I don't want to break it off. Okay, so there's the flower, as you can see. That's what the flower looks like. And here's some of the peppers on here. And this is generally what they look like on the plant. Generally, they come out 1 pepper at a time per node. So in order for this plant to really produce a lot of peppers, it's going to have to branch off quite a bit and make a lot of different nodes, which it will do. It does do it. And I do got a actually pretty good amount of these things. So I don't remember what they taste like last year, because I did do a taste test on it, but I don't remember what they tasted like. So we're going to have to retaste it and go from there. As far as heat goes, again, I don't remember the heat. Just looking at this thing, it looks like the Caribbean habanero, which was, I believe, one time the record habanero for heat, and that was hot. So this is probably going to be hot too. It does look a lot like it. Very, very similar. But let's do a taste test on it. Let me show you the pepper. I picked one already, and give you kind of a good view of that. Now, I could only imagine this being fruity. A fruity type of pepper. But let's give it a go. Alright, so we're going to taste test this sucker. And again, this is the Scotch Bonnet Haiti's Red pepper. It doesn't look anything like a Scotch bonnet, but that's what they call it. So, just trying to give you a good view of it, different angles, different areas of it. I know it's going to be hot, so I do have some tomatoes nearby where I can just feast on those in the event it's overwhelmingly hot. And if it hits my stomach really hard, I have to eat something or I'll yak. So let me hold you back a little. Alright, so let's give it a bite. It's got an extremely intense fruity flavor. It's like habanero fruity on steroids. A very, very strong fruity flavor. Way strong. It's probably going to be a very spicy pepper, meaning this is going to end up coming back at me. But amazingly, the heat so far right now, as I just bit it and ate it, it's very low heat. Not very low, but I can't put this right now past 1,000 at max. Right now, it's the very point right now, I'd say heat-wise about 500, maybe 800. It's just low. It's hitting the end of the tongue mostly right now. A little bit of a tingle on the tonsils, just a tiny bit. Really in between on the tongue, not as much. But that intense fruity flavor, man, that really gets you. Very, very strong fruity flavor. Very, very strong. The other thing I want to note about this is the texture of the pepper. It was very soft, like. It was very, like when you eat a bell pepper, it's green and crunchy. You crunch it up. This was very soft, like eating a very soft berry or a fruit of some type. A very ripened peach or something. It was just very, very soft. It wasn't crunchy at all. It did, when I bit it, it did release a little bit of a gas in the back of my throat, which kind of makes you want to cough. So far, the heat's not picking up, but I am noticing the heat in the back of the throat. Not just around the tonsils, but more going towards the back. I'm feeling it there a little bit. A little bit on the tip of my tongue. It's not very strong. And that's about it with heat. It's really not doing too much of anything else. But it is going to the back of the throat. It's that type of heat. I'll take another bite. It's a very, very, very strong habanero fruity flavor. Very strong. It tastes just like habanero. What it really tastes like. Very strong, fruity habanero flavor with very low heat. I mean, I'm talking low. I'm talking heat like 1,000 and lower, which is pretty much, you know, it's about as low as you're going to get on the hot pepper side. I mean, yeah, there are low heat peppers like pepperoncini and stuff, but they're not really meant to be a hot pepper. This heat is very low. I was expecting it to be a lot higher. In fact, if I remember last year, I thought it was higher. But then again, the Caribbean habanero that looks just like this, that pepper, I may have gotten confused between that and this one. This one's very low heat. It's very easy to do. Not a problem at all. It did burn the tongue back a little bit. Heat's already coming down. It singes your taste buds a little bit. In other words, when you're doing these taste tests and you need to do another taste test right after that, you really can't, because your taste buds are kind of singed and you're not really going to grab the full effect of it. So you got to wait a couple hours to go by before you can actually do another hot pepper. Sweet peppers, on the other hand, don't do that to you. These hot ones will tend to burn you up a little bit. I'll take another bite. This is actually a very pleasant pepper to eat. It's only thing I'm going to say, though, about that fruity flavor, again, it's still hanging around in my palate, and I'm tasting that flavor, so that's telling me that it's probably going to stick around a bit, which could mean that it has a spicy effect, or the fatale effect, as I say, and I might be belching this up later tonight. And I really don't want to do that. But just for the sake of doing video, I do these raw like this. But this is a very mild and easy pepper, in my opinion. Even people who don't really like very high heats, it's a very easy pepper for you to do. And what's good about it is it has that habanero fruity flavor, but you're not getting it super intense, crazy heat that comes with habaneros. But it has a strong flavor to it. And if you're looking for that habanero fruity flavor, this is a pepper I would definitely recommend for that. And it'll go good with really any kind of cooking, salsas, hot sauces. You could put it in salads and things like that. If you're wanting that fruity flavor, this is the one without the heat. Definitely the Caribbean version of this, the Caribbean habanero. I believe it looks the same. It's way, way, way hotter than this. Caribbean habanero is a gut cramper. But I'll finish off this thing. Again, it's got a very nice flavor. I was able to finish the whole pepper. So the only thing, like I say, is it does have that aftertaste that's going to stick around in your palate for a while. And that's okay, you know, if you eat one of them. But if you eat like 2 or 3 of these things, it might upset your stomach for sure. But yeah, I definitely give it a go. Heat-wise, I could probably rate these anywhere between 1,000 and say 2,000 on the Scoville, because I don't know every heat range of every pepper. They do change. As far as the type of heat that it is, it goes to the back of the throat, mostly by the tonsils. And in the back of the throat, like the very back part of it, I can feel it all the way in the back a little bit, which actually feels good. And it hits the end of the tongue very hard. Right now, I finished it off, and the heat picked up a little. And it's really burning the tip of my tongue a lot right now. The very tip of it. It's really burning it. The rest of my tongue is fine. Just the tip is really feeling that heat, man. It's a stinging type of heat. It's a searing, stinging type of a heat. It's just a very, very raw, hot heat. It's like dragon breath coming out of my mouth right now. It feels like the heat is actually coming out of my mouth. It burns. That's why I said 22,000, possibly even 2,500 on the heat. It's like I say, it's a very direct, striking heat. Again, it's just on the tip of the tongue. And it's really burning the tip of my tongue a lot. A real lot. Right now. Almost eye-watering. Sinuses are dripping. No gut cramp. Nothing like that. Very easy on the stomach. Very nice pepper. So, I'm not sure what else to say about it other than it's just that habanero fruity flavor, but very, very strong flavor. And the aftertaste of it kind of goes away. But then there's like the essence of it stays in your sinuses. So, sort of like what the Fatali does. That essence just sits around there. But anyway, I guess that's it. That's your review for the Scotch Bonnet Haiti's Red. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.